Hey guys, what's up? We are back with another tier list, and today we are doing the Pokemon Rivals. One of the most key aspects of any Pokemon game is the rival that you fight along the way, or the rivals that you fight along the way, because they push you to make you better and are really the pinnacle that you are strive to be at the end of the game, post game, or the end of the game in general. So, to start things off, we are going to start with the guys that I'm just gonna get out of the way. Don't really know. Don't know. I don't even know who this is. This is. I think this might be a Pokemon Rangers guy. Don't know. Looks like a Pokemon Rangers kind of style thing. I played Masters. I'll give this guy. I don't remember the names. I'll give him a D. But the other two, I don't. I think these are both Masters. I don't know. I think. Yeah, I don't know really. I know this one a little bit, but I'm not sure. And this one I have no idea. I've played Masters a little bit, but not. No, that's where that's from. No. Now we're sitting at the tier list of people I do know for the most part, or at least know of. Let's go with. So we're gonna start with the C category. We're gonna go with the semi-pro gym leaders. I don't know their names, but they're kind of forgettable. They're just kind of like, we need something to do. Like, it brings a cool aspect that there's like a semi-pro league in the Galar region, and I like that. But I don't like. I mean, other than that, it's like, who are you guys? You guys aren't even. You're not even worth my time. Get out of my face. I honestly, those are probably. They got cool designs, but other than that, nothing really did it for me from them. Now the next two, let's go next. Let's go. Considering I haven't played through all the Pokemon Go, I'm gonna put Trayson. I think that's his name, in D tier. Mainly because it's like, why? Why did we need to replace? Why did we? I get that we're a different character, but if we're gonna remake the Kanto region, let's remake the Kanto region. Give me Gary, not Gary. Give me Blue, give me Red, give me. If you want to implement Green, which they gave you all that, but I want them to be part of the main story. Trayson can sit in D. He ain't no Blue. I'll tell you that right now. Now we move to another C tier character. We're going. I think this is Trevor. Trevor. I mean, in the anime is kind of cool. I'll give him that. He gets the Mega Charizard Y, I believe. But in the games, which is where I really know him from, he's in the region with too many rivals, and that's a problem. He's not really a challenge, and he's in a pretty easy game also. Like, X and Y, not hard games at all. So I'm going to put him at C, and he's not a challenge at all. Same with Shauna. Shauna has a lot of the same flaws that Trevor has, because she's in an easy game, maybe even more forgettable than Trevor, because in the anime I don't remember. I didn't watch a lot of the X and Y anime, but she's not that useful. I mean, the only thing, I don't remember much of her, so I'm gonna put her in C, almost D, honestly. But that's how I feel about Shauna. Now we move up to the C tier, and first boy that goes in, or B tier, not C tier, sorry. B tier. We got Trevor. Trevor enters the B tier because, whereas he might fall flat like these other characters in terms of power, Trevor likes to dance, and I like his personality. Trevor gets the B tier exclusively for that. Other characters that fall into the B tier of rivals. Let me think here. We're looking at them. I'm gonna go Beatty can sit in the B tier. He does have a better. He's high B though. He has a decent character arc, but he is a little annoying, thinking that he's just better than everyone, and that's why they're like, oh, let's make him a little bit better as a future. He's like, maybe I see the error in my ways, but B. Serena and Callum, right? Is that his name? They can go in B tier. They are, one of the only few trainers in Generation 6 that have Mega Evolution, but that's post game, and he's not really a good test of skill until then, which is already post game, so it's a problem. And they're also like carbon copies of each other, so I think that hinders points that they don't get to show as much individual personality, due to the fact that they're just they have the same dialogue between the two. They might be a little different, but it's not crazy different. Next, into the B and C tier, I think we put Gladion. Back of B. I almost want to put him in C. I mean, he's just annoying. He's like BD, but worse, and his character arc isn't as good. He's still annoying at the end of the game, but just a little bit more tolerable because you kind of know what he's going through, but he's just annoying. I'm not a big fan of Gladion. He could sit it back at B. Anyone else that I want to put into B tier? Bianca. I mean, is it worse than Gladion? I mean, is she really a rival? She is at the beginning, and then she kind of like isn't. And I think that hinders her rival ability. So I think that if she would have continued to be a rival, I mean, she does fight you for most of the game, but her story is not that of I'm your rival. Is that I just want to be strong for me and not. I don't want to surpass you, and that's in a rival. That's what you want. Is you want someone that wants to be better than you, and that's what I think a true rival is. Now we're still in B because I think we could probably put. I think we maybe put N at the top. Yeah, at the top of B, because really he's your to say he's a rival is a stretch. I mean, he is. You fight him multiple times. He's more of a big bad of the game. I mean, that's how I see him as the big bad. He's one of your final fights, not your final fight, but he's like replaces the champion, which most rivals do. But like he's supposed to be like the boss, but even though he's getting played, he's like a mini boss to the main boss. I don't see him as a rival. I see him as a boss of Team Galactic, at least in black and white. Black to white too, a little different, but that's how I see N. True rival? I don't think so. Now, I think, now I'm looking at it. I think that I was. Hao. Yeah, Hao definitely can go in front of Gladion. I didn't see him there. Gladion is or Hao is just he's weak. Why would you choose a starter that's weak to me? I mean, dude, what are you doing? I know in that game you're supposed to be the rival, but it's like rivals go both ways. Okay, not just one way. Hao sits at B. Honestly, I'm actually putting him at C. That's how I feel about Hao. Hao's kind of stupid and dumb. Poorly written rival. I don't like Hao. Barry can sit it back at B because Barry is stupid as a trainer. Like, in Diamond and Pearl, he's got a Starly until like level 20 something. It's crazy. He doesn't evolve his Pokemon. He's an easy fight for most of the game until like the final fight. And depending on what starter you choose, like he's easy no matter what. Like if you choose anything but, if you choose Empoleon, Empoleon's the only time that he's kind of difficult. But Barry is just. He's not it, and he's kind of annoying with the whole finding thing. I don't like him. But now we get into kind of the elites of trainers or characters that I think have a really good story behind them. Let's start with I think probably the weakest of this bunch in terms of character, because they follow the same kind of idea of they just have the same text, but copy paste, so their individual personality is different, but they do they're more of a friend that help you along the way. That they're like, hey, if you want to be able to challenge this gym leader, I'm gonna be the one that proves you're ready for this next gym leader. They did get hindered a little bit, like not having a fully evolved starter in Pokemon Ruby Sapphire and I think maybe Emerald, but they get changed in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, which does help a lot. So I do like that. And they're iconic, those games are just iconic. And as a rival, they're like the first rival that isn't, that is helpful rather than being kind of, it was a change of pace, that's what we'll say. First rival that was helpful instead of being, just like hurtful for the most part. Next we go Marnie. Marnie, you see her story grow between her not really caring too much or wanting, but then you kind of push her to be better, and she wants to be better than you. Do like that a lot, and maybe she doesn't want to take over her gym, and then finally she does. It's a great story. Marnie's a good character, and when I first played through Galar, I didn't think much of Marnie, but as I went through a second time, I think Marnie really stuck out as a character more than the first time I played through it. So Marnie is A tier for sure. Then we move to who would be next. I think we go Hop. Whereas he might be an easy fight, and he's not that all too difficult. The thing is, more than any other rival, I think, is that he has the most changes of Pokemon team, because he's actually trying to develop to be better than you. Like, he's trying to do different tactics to see what works best for him to become the best version of himself possible, and prove that he can stick out more than his brother and you. He wants to be the best, and he's doing whatever it needs to happen to become the best. I think that story is brilliant, and I think Game Freak did a good job with at least his story. His teams could have used some work, and they could have been more challenging, but I do like Hop a lot because of that fact. Now we move to, probably I think this is the last one on A tier. I'm going to go Wally, mainly because Wally doesn't become a true threat or challenger. It's weird because Wally's story is like, oh, I'm feeble, and then out of nowhere he's like, I'm a threat now. Be ready. And I think that him in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire is the best version of Wally that we'll ever see. Him pulling up with Mega Gallade and him being just this beast at the end compared to what he was, this feeble little man at the beginning of the story, is just amazing. It's a great plot line that Game Freak came up with Wally. And you get more of his deep backstory, or at least his ancestry with Legends Arceus. I like that they involved a ancestor of Wally, and he was pretty cool character as well, even though it's not Wally, it's his ancestor. But I think he's just shy of that A tier, and I think the rest of these guys are pretty baller for that. You have to be pretty baller to be in S tier. I said just shy of S tier, my bad. Now, I think we go Cheren. I think Cheren is a great rival. You know, he's intelligent. He's not so stuck up that he's still not, like, he's still your friend, but he really wants to beat you. He is a trainer that gives off the essence of, I know what I'm doing, and you're gonna have to try really hard to beat me, and I do like that. And then to see his progression, he's kind of a knockoff Blue a little bit. You know, he's kind of like how Blue became, was your rival, and then the next game he's a gym leader. Same thing kind of situation going on here, but he's just I think a slightly worse version of Blue, but still good enough to make that S tier, because he's just always there, always pushing you, always making you better. I think Cheren is a really solid rival. He gets the bottom of S tier. The next is Pneumonia. Right? Pneumonia? I think that's her name. She is just better than you throughout the whole game. She can beat you whenever she wants. She just chooses not to because she wants to test her skills, and she just loves battling. That's a great thing. She wants to test your skills to see how you're progressing, and she's using Pokemon that are weaker just so you can feel like you're catching up and you're making some sort of progress. I think Pneumonia is a brilliantly written rival, and I think that her being a champion prior to that is kind of fun. Like, the way they did the Paldean region was kind of interesting and different, and that her already beating the champion and being stronger than the champion means that you got some work to do before you can truly beat the strongest trainer in the region, or one of the strongest trainers in the region that is your rival. Now we got the three dogs. Ain't nobody can tell me different. I think Hugh comes in at S, third place of S, because the other two have better stories, or at least they're not as iconic to me, honestly. That's probably the biggest reason. But Hugh, being a trainer that is, he's sturdy, he's stern, he's tough, but he's also loving to Pokemon, is great. His story with his, I think, was little sister's Pokemon, or his Pokemon getting stolen, and him trying to get it back is great. And the fact that you see him grow, like, not everyone has the same kind of ideals as you, and then he kind of accepts that a little bit, and that he's not so quick to judge someone based on how they treat their Pokemon, because it's not exactly how he would do it. So I think Hugh's story, Hugh's a great trainer. Hugh is a good rival to have, and he's Batman in my Pokemon Blaze Black 2 Grasslock. So that's how I feel about him. Ooh, man. This basically comes down to nostalgia over story or background or development, because Blue doesn't develop a lot, or he doesn't develop as much as Silver does, but Silver development is crazy, but he's not as nostalgic as Blue. I've fought Blue multiple. I think I have to go Silver. Silver's number 2. Silver's development as a character is crazy. He goes from being a thief, someone that is just trying to get revenge and doesn't really care for his Pokemon, that he just wants to make them stronger, to someone that realizes the error of his ways, and that to be stronger is to care for your Pokemon and to be nice to you and nice to them, and work as a team and not as a tool. I think Silver's story is great, and then you help him grow through that as his rival, and it's just amazing character in my opinion. Now we got Blue. I've played through the Kanto region so many times, and Blue is always there, you know. And the great thing about Blue is Blue's always one step ahead. You're never not chasing Blue. Blue beats the gym leaders before you. He gets to the Elite Four before you. He's doing things before you every step along the way in your journey. And once he reaches the pinnacle, he finally takes a break, and that's when it's your chance to step up and become better than him. Become one step ahead of Blue. I think that Blue is the ideal of, that's where I need to be, is one step ahead, one step better. He's always one step better than me, and I want to be like that guy. That's where you need to reach, and it's always just out of reach until you can finally get there. I think that's what Blue represents in the first games. I think that's why Blue is such an iconic character, and I think that's why Blue is the best rival. But that is my tier list, guys. If you agree, disagree, let me know in the comments below. Comments below. And that's all I have. Make sure you check other tier lists that I have on the channel. There'll be a playlist linked in the back end of this video. That's it. All I have for today. So until next time, guys. Peace.